He said all of a sudden you can literally track the standards when the best and brightest women came out.
There's a similar parallel in our community when black men who were going to college, for the most part, were going into teaching. And then as that shift started taking place, more and more educated black men started going into business versus teaching. And you can see a similar shift for men in the profession as well in our community.
But there's still a fundamental principle. And I think it's this. Teacher expectation produces student performance.
Yeah.
So your point, Bob, until we can get into these classrooms again, not just teachers who know the material, but teachers who expect the absolute best of our students. And obviously I think that's what HBCUs have over many of the PWIs, because we expect our kids to do well, and they do.
Yeah, it's what I understand from a national philosophy of education. If you think about it, if I'm in business, so when I'm in business, I say I got to generate a certain return on investment, which means I got to have the best product flowing into the mix to generate the highest yield.
Absolutely.
The public school system is just the opposite. And we expect to get higher economic growth in the United States, but the product mix you're putting into the pipeline is not able to deliver.
Well,
and that's what's going to continue.
We haven't even figured out what we want the product to be.
Well, see, I think we need to go back to, because when you start looking, I'm on the business council, and the guys at Caterpillar and CSX Railroad,
You're right.
these guys they aren't particularly concerned about whether or not you got an English degree or a civics degree or social. They want to know, can you run a precision machine? Do you have the discipline to show up and make the right kind of decisions while you're looking at this technology and this particular platform? That's what they're looking for.
We treated technical skills as if that was so inferior.
Throwback.
And then what is interesting about that whole push in terms of these trade schools in Chicago when I was there, ComEd had this shortage of people, all the guys and men and women who climb the power lines. So they go to the community college. They create a 9-month program, 9 months, to get certified. Folks who left that program and actually got hired, starting salary, 70 grand.
Yeah.
The top level of those jobs were 120,000. I had a guy who was a supervisor. He said, I want to promote this guy, but he's making $110,000 a year. He doesn't want the promotion. Now, a 9-month program, but the problem is, in this country, we see here community college, we think, oh, that's 13th grade.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah,
as opposed to that 70.
We
created one path of perceived success, and we didn't create a balanced path.
And if we want to be honest, it's a bunch of people who are in four-year institutions who do not belong there, and then the problem is they accrue debt. Now they got credit reports jacked up, and now too many universities have become profit centers because once you get your enrollment up, you're trying to maintain that enrollment. Because now your budget is now based upon this financial aid.
Yeah, no, so there's got to be a whole rethinking of that, because if you look at where job growth is coming, it's in Asia, it's in sub-Saharan Africa. There's 600 million people in sub-Saharan Africa who are moving rapidly into the middle class. And when you see that happening, job and investment will follow that. And if you get an African American who has been out of work for over 3 to 5 years, they will never work again. That's the real thing. If you work at GM when you're 30, you stay there till you're 25, you're 55, they lay somebody off, you can feel it. You'll never work again. You may drive a Avis bus back from one part of the airport to the other part, but that's it. And that's the danger of chronic unemployment for us. And this 17-18%. You know, the black wealth gap has exploded from $20,000 to $90,000 over the past 20 years. And then with the housing market going away, my biggest concern is that there is no break on the decline in African American earnings and wealth creation, where the Pew Research study showed that some 55% of African Americans whose families were solidly middle class in the 60s will never attain the wealth of their parents.
And then it also doesn't help us when you do get to that point, but you then are spending so many thousands of dollars a year paying for diapers, helping the brother and sister with rent, paying a car note, that when you do have that job, you still can't invest those dollars because you're having to support a whole cadre of folks.
Yeah.
So the cycle just repeats.
Yeah. Needs to be a whole panel on that subject.
I think I can arrange that.
Johnson, good being with you.
That can be arranged.